12 countries that could collapse in 2023. A gripping drama is unfolding on the vast expanse of the global economic stage, with formidable challenges lurking around every corner. The stakes are higher than ever, and destiny hangs in the balance on this grand stage of nations. As the world waits, we learn about the fates of 12 countries whose existence is hanging by a thread, poised on the brink of collapse in the fateful year of 2023. Below, we unveil the 12 countries that could collapse in 2023, a test of survival in the tumultuous tides of 2023. Stick around to find out the country on the number 1 spot. You won't believe that this country is one of the powerhouse nations of the world. 12. Ukraine. Ukraine is caught in a complex web of problems as it deals with the fallout from Russia's invasion of its territory. Bombings and armed conflicts have destroyed its infrastructure, and the country is saddled with a massive debt of more than $20 billion. Amid this turmoil, Ukraine seeks relief by requesting a delay in debt payments, but the full extent of the war's economic impact remains unknown. The country's road to recovery is fraught with uncertainty, and its future hangs in the balance as it bravely faces the daunting task of rebuilding while navigating the turbulent waters of a volatile global landscape. 11. Tunisia. Tunisia is at a crossroads, grappling with pressing economic challenges. The country faces a nearly 10% budget deficit, exacerbated by one of the highest public sector wage bills. Tunisia has proposed a controversial reform plan to secure a lifeline, which has sparked opposition from labor unions. The country's political unrest, rising inflation, and dwindling purchasing power have fueled fears of a social breakdown. As the country walks a fine line between stability and uncertainty, its future depends on balancing economic recovery and addressing its people's concerns. 10. Argentina. Argentina faces a massive burden in international finance as the world's largest debtor to the prestigious International Monetary Fund. A massive gross debt of $378.518 billion looms over the nation's economic landscape, casting a shadow of uncertainty. Argentina is bracing for a formidable challenge as the year progresses, with heavy debt payments looming, potentially plunging the country into a maze of complex financial predicaments. The country's fate is at stake, and the path to stability lies in navigating the dangerous waters of debt repayment while protecting the well-being of its people. 9. Kenya. Amidst the majestic savannas, Kenya faces mounting challenges that cast shadows on its path to progress. The burden of public debt looms large, reaching a troubling 70.3% in 2022. Nature, too, is holding a firm grip on the land, causing food scarcity and exacerbating inflation. Climate disasters unleash their wrath, exacerbating the nation's woes. Far-flung conflicts reverberate across borders, disrupting food imports and sparking protests for more affordable necessities. Kenya's aspirations for a better future through infrastructure development have been lofty, but the benefits have yet to materialize, leaving its citizens yearning for tangible improvements in their daily lives. As the country attempts to navigate this complex landscape, the path to prosperity lies in facing challenges with resilience and devising long-term solutions that benefit the country and its people. 8. El Salvador. El Salvador, in the heart of Central America, is grappling with mounting economic challenges due to its audacious decision to embrace Bitcoin. Despite efforts to alleviate the crisis, the country's investment in cryptocurrency has backfired, resulting in a significant loss of value, estimated at $70 million. El Salvador's financial stability is jeopardized by adopting Bitcoin as legal tender and allocating public funds to the digital asset. International analysts warn that the ill-fated move could pave the way for debt payment defaults, casting a cloud of uncertainty over the country's future. El Salvador's determination to overcome adversity will be critical in charting a course to brighter prospects as it travels this dangerous path. 7. Egypt. In the heart of the Nile, Egypt is entangled in a web of economic distress and has sought refuge from the International Monetary Fund on multiple occasions. The echoes of the distant conflict between Ukraine and Russia reverberate off Egypt's shores, adding to the country's woes. Egypt's currency, like a sandcastle, loses value with each tide, while inflation soars like a scorching desert wind. Desperate times necessitate desperate measures, and the country takes bold steps, prohibiting imports of certain products to contain rising prices. However, the road to recovery remains difficult, and Egypt faces an uphill battle to regain its financial vigor and emerge victorious from the clutches of the crisis. 6. Pakistan. Despite its vibrant landscapes, Pakistan faces pressing economic challenges threatening its financial stability. With foreign exchange reserves dwindling to a worrying $9.8 billion, the country now has only 5 weeks of import coverage. The threat of a balance of payments crisis looms large, owing primarily to the high cost of energy imports. To weather the storm, Pakistan has turned to the International Monetary Fund for assistance in addressing its financial challenges. The road to recovery is paved with formidable obstacles, with the dual task of reducing debt and increasing revenue necessitating unwavering determination and resolute action. As the country faces these challenges, its resilience and resolve will shape its economic future. 5. Ethiopia. Since 2020, Ethiopia's economic progress has been hindered by the COVID-19 pandemic and an ongoing civil war. To help its struggling economy, the country seeks debt relief and budgetary assistance. The conflict has caused enormous human suffering, displacing millions of people and causing a humanitarian crisis in the Tigray region. Ethiopia's road to recovery is difficult because it must address both the economic turmoil and the deep wounds of the war. The nation works to rebuild with resilience and unity, nurturing hope for a brighter future in adversity. 4. Belarus. In the heart of Eastern Europe, Belarus is caught in a web of international tensions. The European Union has sanctioned the country for its assistance to Russia in its invasion of Ukraine. The economic consequences are severe, with financial restrictions and import bans affecting key sectors of the Belarusian economy. Furthermore, a contentious constitutional amendment to reintroduce nuclear weapons adds to the nation's predicament. As Belarus joins Russia in the conflict, concerns about the country's stability grow. As Belarus grapples with the consequences of its actions on the international stage, navigating these treacherous waters requires astute diplomacy and careful consideration. 3. Ghana. Once adorned with the promise of a prosperous future, Ghana now faces the grim reality of severe financial trials. The once sturdy currency is now trembling under the weight of depreciation while inflation soars to a frightening 30%. Ghana's debt has increased by an astounding 7,000% since 2000, reaching a staggering $54 billion. Fiscal stability is a distant dream as the government struggles to bear the burden of this massive debt. Urgent loans become a lifeline in a desperate bid to stay afloat, and the country was forced to announce external debt suspension in December 2022, reflecting the limitations of its financial resources. Ghana's resilience will be tested in this time of adversity as it attempts to overcome obstacles and restore its economic vitality. 2. Ecuador. In the heart of South America, Ecuador is experiencing a tumultuous storm of violent protests and unrest, leaving a trail of scarcity, disruption, and uncertainty in its wake. Food and medicine shortages grip the country, while reduced oil production exacerbates the situation. The government has implemented measures such as lower gasoline prices, debt forgiveness, and fertilizer subsidies to appease the public. However, the underlying dissatisfaction remains. The country's economic woes are exacerbated by high debt levels and consecutive fiscal deficits, posing significant challenges to the country's financial stability. As Ecuador grapples with these complex issues, charting a course to stability necessitates deft and innovative solutions that address the immediate needs of its people and the long-term viability of its economy. 1. Nigeria. Nigeria is confronted with significant economic challenges due to debt and poor management. Despite being a major crude oil producer, its wealth has not increased living standards, resulting in significant inequality. Concerns have been raised about increased poverty due to an energy transition plan that includes eliminating fuel subsidies. Mismanagement aggravates poverty by raising the cost of goods and services. Crude oil theft and non-operational refineries lead to excessive borrowing and debt accumulation. Skilled worker migration has an even greater impact on the country. The outlook for 2023 is challenging, necessitating strategic measures to improve fiscal management, alleviate poverty, and promote sustainable development to ensure a brighter future. These countries face economic turmoil amid war, political unrest, and international pressures as time passes. Their financial stability and socio-economic well-being are at stake, so their future remains uncertain. The road to recovery is difficult, and the global community's assistance is critical in guiding them toward a more stable future. In the comment section below, please share your thoughts on these nations and whether you believe an escape route will emerge for them soon.